His lies are sufficient.
You don't go believe. Makoki and Marampa today now nearly $40 billion we don't give them cash.
Continue to be patient, President of Torment.
They suffer. We dey go sell it. They dey beat me. They dey beat me.
Dwarf recruitment, giant unemployment. But when will the senseless suffering cease? We've been on this since we are babies. I'm not talking about the party kids. Those are different type of breeds. The influential bullies, using political influences to cover our bad deeds. We did not create the differences. You are the ones building the fences. So now we too are taking the fences by speaking life senses to your 5 senses to make emphasis on the crisis and the causes whilst entertaining the masses. Because I've been silent by all means on a land where corrupt human beings influence electoral pollings. Until next draws the next polling curtains, giving us the right to vote out parties and all their small committees. We remove thieves from state offices with their fake promises, corrupt practices and zero services. But till then, don't listen to their excuses or cock and bull stories. Don't join their rallies. Let's just stay like this. Next election will bring us justice. But hey, Preso, please, before coming here to tell us fake stories, help us talk to the police to stop pesting us for side monies. We are not the ones holding on their salaries. We've already got enough worries, including your bad governmental policies. Their friends in other countries are dislodging armed robberies, making great sacrifices, taking bullets for armies. You think they're all in action movies? It is police of service. Hours and money zombies, tramadol police. They arrive at crime scenes after the deal has been done since. We've got countless narratives of these notorious thieves, politicizing opportunities and facilities.
I want to disabuse people. Anybody who says the president is traveling too much is one who suffers from poverty.
Making our people flee to other societies. Aren't you ashamed of your colleagues in other countries? Mungo Foley, rest in peace. See how proud everybody is of your developmental strategies, which started from day one in office till we are called to internal bliss. I also celebrate you for this because I've learned at least that true development comes through strict policies. Not where they influence presidents with kisses. Not where they brought out an audit report of properties that we are never bought and overpricing of all sorts. It's all cut and slots. The rest is ... We've brought free education. And so what? Is that what we get for our support? An education that doesn't suit their kids' comfort? I call it quality, but you and I know it's not.
Quality education
Again, they don't respect teachers' efforts because teachers' salaries are mere insult. Buy rice, loan salt, borrow transport. Is it a poverty cult? No one that teachers wear shoes without fault or buy a crate of malt without tampering with kids' results.
These teachers have different problems. Some have complained to have been given PIN codes for a year now, but have never been paid. Another set are those that have filled in education forms for approval but have not been recruited. There are some that have never been fortunate to fill ED forms. They met at the Teaching Service Commission today to express their agonies.
I thought SFPP should have been my redeemer, my brother. Yes. Because I fought for the party, then we have won the election. Exactly. But things are not happening the way I was expecting.
Quiet, like a ghost market. Speak and regret. Here is a free Pademba ticket. Mr. Innocent, his lies are sufficient.
You don't go believe. Makoki and Marampa today now nearly $40 billion we don't give them cash.
Continue to be patient, President of Torment.
They suffer. We dey go sell it. They dey beat me. They dey beat me.
Dwarf recruitment, giant unemployment. But when will the senseless suffering cease? We've been on this since we are babies. I'm not talking about the party kids. Those are different type of breeds. The influential bullies, using political influences to cover up bad deeds. We did not create the differences. You are the ones building the fences. So now we too are taking the fences by speaking live senses to your 5 senses to make emphasis on the crisis and the causes whilst entertaining the masses. Because I've been silent by all means on a land where corrupt human beings influence electoral pollings. Until next draws the next polling curtains, giving us the right to vote out parties and all their small committees. We remove thieves from state offices with their fake promises, corrupt practices and zero services. But till then, don't listen to their excuses or cock and bull stories. Don't join their rallies. Let's just stay like this. Next election will bring us justice. But hey, Prezo, please, before coming here to tell us fake stories, help us talk to the police. So stop pesting us for side monies. We are not the ones holding on their salaries. We've already got enough worries, including your bad governmental policies. Their friends in other countries are dislodging armed robberies, making great sacrifices, taking bullets for armies. You think they're all in action movies? It is police of service. Ours are money zombies, tramadol police. They arrive at crime scenes after the deal has been done since. We've got countless narratives of these notorious thieves, politicizing opportunities and facilities.
I want to disabuse people. Anybody who says the president is traveling too much is one who suffers from poverty.
Making our people flee to other societies. Aren't you ashamed of your colleagues in other countries? Mungo Foley, rest in peace. See how proud everybody is of your developmental strategies, which started from day one in office till we are called to internal bliss. I also celebrate you for this because I've learned at least that true development comes through strict policies. Not where they influence presidents with kisses. Not where they brought out an audit report of properties that we are never bought and overpricing of all sorts. It's all cut and slots. The rest is ... We've brought free education. And so what? Is that what we get for our support? An education that doesn't suit their kids' comfort? I call it quality, but you and I know it's not.
Quality education
Okay, they don't respect teachers' efforts because teachers' salaries are mere insult. Buy rice, loan salt, borrow transport. Is it a poverty cult? No one that teachers wear shoes without fault or buy a crate of malt without tampering with kids' results.
These teachers have different problems. Some have complained to have been given PIN codes for a year now, but have never been paid. Another set are those that have filled in education forms for approval but have not been recruited. There are some that have never been fortunate to fill ED forms. They met at the Teaching Service Commission today to express their agonies.
I thought SENSITIZATION should have been my redeemer, my brother. Yes. Because I fought for the party, then we have won the election. Exactly. But things are not happening the way I was expecting.
Good evening, listeners, viewers. This is the voice of Hassan Kebe, also known as Mixer. Today, the 21st of May, 2023, we don't come to Una again with the 2023 election sensitization program. This program, they come to Una courtesy of the APC Diaspora Online TV Platform, where they cover all the election programs will get for take place inside this 2023 presidential and general elections. Today, our main focus are on 3 topics. And the reason we make we limit onto 3 topics because we deal with issues them according to daily events where they emerge in the country back home. With me today, I get a co-presenter when Ahmed Bangura, who everybody they call MB Roy, aka Mufti. I also get two guests then with me. We not join it, but then they join in a little while. When our comrade Adams and comrade Imran Toure. Of course, I also get some announcements for make to listeners and viewers with regards to a message we come off from the hierarchy of the APC political party. Remember, we're there for discuss national issues then. However, our priority is our political party and for ensure that Dr. Samura Kamara win the 2023 June 24th presidential elections, as well as the APC will gather most of the seats, the parliamentary seats, them, councillors and district chairpersons. But again, the reason we could bring guests at this platform now for just can sensitize and share their opinions with listeners and viewers them. Although some of the statements they're not a policy statement, because they're not only there for can discuss the issues them where they make una happy. Now for can discuss critical issues them where they make one self they ask them question at the platform at the lobby where they get for answer to most of them questions and then they as well as how we self they ask them the similar questions them. And one thing where I go want for tell the viewers and listeners before ever I bring in my guest and my co-host. Now that with National Publicity Secretary, it just don't release an audio less than an hour ago for educate and sensitize the entire Sierra Leoneans them, as well as fellow comrades of the APC where they reside back home. In that audio, it discussed say, whatsoever we don't register when an eligible voter, ECSL don't begin for issue out voter ID cards them. As a result, they ask everybody when not collecting voter ID card yet for go now the areas them where ECSL don't allocate for people and for go collect them voter ID cards them. We understand say some of the other side, and they call them other side, the members then they go for go collecting ID cards them under Kuku Jumuku, we then call secretly. But we believe say we get the numbers. However, with the urguna and with the appeal to everybody, we not collect it in voter ID card, especially when we don't register, make a go collect them and retain them. Because now only when you collect them, you retain them, now in go make you eligible for vote. But again, I will stop here for the news and let me bring in my guest and the co-host. Let me just introduce them before ever we go further with this discussion. But again, please don't forget to share the live and also to subscribe, because now only when you share the live, you click the like and you subscribe, now in the viewership they increase. Remember, you are doing this for the APC, not only for the APC Diaspora Online TV Platform. Now let me introduce my guest to you. But I start with my co-host, Ahmed Bangura, aka Mufti. Mbiroy, come on and introduce yourself, please, my brother. Comrade Mbiroy. Mufti.
Hello, good evening. And obviously, Mixer, thank you very much for bringing me in. I'm so happy to be part of this program today. Anyway, I know most of you now know me, Ahmed Bangura, aka Mufti, aka political Mufti, aka Mbiroy, all these names. Mashallah, today we'll just pray, Lord, a very fruitful discussion, at least, Lord, create some awareness among the Sierra Leoneans. As we all know, election is getting closer. This is not like to frighten people, but just to give the people the confidence that Sierra Leone for say, we will not go no side, we not in Sierra Leone, no need for panic. just in a country lay ready for casting the vote. Faricha, Mixer, I will pass the mic again, at least this. Over to you, Mixer.
Oh, thank you so much. We just not lost. We guessed if they just know it come back. I think it come on again. And viewers and listeners, as I continue with the discussion, they still wait for we to guess them. They have some technical issues right now where they can deal with, regardless the geographical location where they when at the UK, but yet it can happen sometimes. So again, let me just continue with the news. Tomorrow, ECSL plan for do a float parade at the country. But the leadership of the APC, with specific reference to the secretariat, they kindly request to all meaningful, peaceful, and people away this salon right now when we comrades of the APC for Sidona O's, go about their business, not join the float parade we're going to take place tomorrow with the ECSL. However, would they encourage everybody for go collect the ID cards, because the parade no they stop people them for collect them voter ID card, which is more important to the mighty APC in ensuring that we win this 2023 elections, and then we'll be able for increase we chances of winning the June 24th 2023 elections. So although we guess the knockout na the platform, but I will also continue for talk to the entire membership of the APC. For say 2023 elections, it's not about complacency. It's not only about the APC. Oh, thank you so much. Now, one of our guests just to appear. Let me just introduce him now to viewers and listeners. Them viewers and listeners, this not a familiar face na this platform. This perfect gentleman has appeared in this platform for over 3-4 times. Now, somebody we don't play a great role that the APC UK and I, as well as the diaspora, and it gets a history. Prior to the 2023 and diaspora election, when our first election as 6th region, he was a member of the team who designed the communique of the diaspora 6th region, alongside with late comrade, when our comrade Sheku Abes Kamara of blessed memory. Of course, I know they sit on at this platform here today. I know member that gentleman they will encourage me in politics. Any side who side are they, I go for the reflect and I go for the member. May God give them good road. So viewers and listeners, please join me as I welcome to you, Comrade Adams Bangura. Please come on and introduce yourself.
Well, thank you very much, Comrade Mixer, and good evening to the viewers out there. Happy for a day again today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adams Bangura. And so we'll go straight away to the discussion because we are still waiting for Imran. But Comrade Imran not able for show up yet. He get technical issues. We're in a mode the technical team they can deal with that issue they right now behind the scene. Comrade Adams, recently over 2 weeks ago, we principal we then call Dr. Samura, the APC flag bearer. He arrived in the UK on a 5 days visit. During that visit, so many things them happen, were very successful. And you know, man, we play a great role in some of those visits in terms of organizing, interacting, and connection with the international community. But before ever you go, I ask you this question. Let me introduce our guest. Sorry about that, Adams. Viewers and listeners, we guess what we wait for. They just don't show up. But let me just introduce him to you. This is not a gentleman. We're not a social media beast. When they say a beast, not a political beast. A man with no nonsense with the SLP. It's a familiar face. One of the hosts on this platform. He don't appear now on several occasions. And a man, anything more, not emerge out reality. He has no fear for challenge issues. He's not a defender, but an attacker. With the issue, not for defender. So viewers, please join me. Welcome, Comrade Imran Ture. Please introduce yourself. Yes, Comrade Imran. Introduce yourself. I love your combat outfit today. Yes, Comrade Imran, go ahead. Viewers and listeners, we are so sorry. We guess they get technical issues in login. But again, while we sort it out, we go straight away to Comrade Adams. Yeah, Comrade Adams, as I discussed earlier on, the question I go to ask you, I want to make you explain to viewers. I go to make you a brief analysis of exactly from the day one where Dr. Samura visits the UK from the airport. He gets a session with Sierra Leoneans at the airport. He go to the mosque, and then I'm not able to talk the rest because viewers the one for no, and myself no know, myself go on for no more. So you go able to give a brief analysis about Dr. Samura's visit to the UK and the impact that he created with the Sierra Leoneans them as well as the international community, please.
Thank you very much, Comrade Mixer. Of course, we all know say Dr. Samura Kamara became in the UK. He landed here on a Friday. It was on a Friday, I think, the 5th of May. You know, he came the UK for a couple of very important engagements. One of which was the invitation of the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, we being invited, alongside with the current president of the country, Julius Maada Bio. They were invited. Dr. Samura came here on a Friday. Of course, like so we now the APC party here in the UK and the rest of the comrades, we were looking forward to his visit. We were very much optimistic for his visit. That's precisely show at the Heathrow Airport, Terminal 2, when he landed there. Of course, you saw the number of Sierra Leoneans who went there to receive him, the joyous mood. And I remember on one occasion, one of the securities in Camden approached me. He said, "Sir, what's going on here?" I said, "Well, we're here to receive the next president of Sierra Leone." You know, and he became intrigued. And then, of course, they were concerned about security issues here and there, about the number of people that we go gather at the airport. This not ever be since the commissioning of Terminal 2 na Heathrow, for me can get that much number of people if I go receive somebody. So I was able enough to pacify the securities and reassure them that nothing untoward or untoward will get to happen there, other than the fact say we're just there as you know, very respectable people who are just in the euphoria and the moment of receiving their leader of their party. So we assure and say it shouldn't be worried. There should be no need for concern. If ever there is any, I will be happy to speak to his line manager. And indeed, he did get his line manager on the phone on the line. Spoke to his line manager, and they understood. Not too long from that, of course, Dr. Samura came in, well received, right from the airport. We drove into somewhere outside. He gets for go rest small and change over. From there, we go straight to the Brixton Masjid. Go and pray. Have a very interactive session with the Sierra Leonean Muslim community here in the UK. He was given an opportunity to address the Umar of the Brixton Masjid, and that the believers, them as like you say in Islam, the Umar, he give them that opportunity for address them. He speak to them and tell them as to the kind of Sierra Leone. In fact, he didn't even go there to campaign. As to the kind of Sierra Leone way in the envisage, one of honesty, sincerity, and purposeful. Not one of self-serving people, where people they use lie as a means for coming through into politics, where people the whole intention of getting into national service are for enrich themselves. So as for him, Samura Kamara, he said that's not his intention. That's not his wish either. His only wish if given an opportunity to serve his people, and for ensure say it correct some of the wrongs and the historical wrongs them where don't they happen to we as a nation and as a people. So he spoke very well. And I remember after that particular meeting, outside we were gathered outside. That's a broader way, a day now for confidentiality purpose. I may not want to disclose. But these are the people where it had to make you win them over into certain aspect of we APC politics or national issue. He came, he said, boys, he said, now I am convinced. He said, trust me, this man is the right man for Sierra Leone. He knows the issues, well articulate, and he knows precisely what needs to be done at a particular time for take we out of the woods, because Sierra Leone is currently in a state of mess. So, of course, from there, after the Brixton Masjid, we drove straight down to the BBC HQ. Also, if you forget an interview with the Focus on Africa team. He had an interview there. He was interviewed. Fantastic interview again. Of course, we own ourselves out there on the clips from that particular interview. He spoke again on the issues where they face Sierra Leone, the urgency of now, and what needs to be done going forward, especially with regards to the June 24 elections. With him, Samura Kamara, as a candidate from the leading opposition party, the APC party. And also they asked the people of Sierra Leone for making an elect him, giving reasons as to why he is the best man for the job. But of course, one of the many reasons he will talk about the socio-economic impact where Sierra Leone they suffer right now. We currently today in a big state of mess, I would say. The economy is not moving. Nothing seems to be working for Sierra Leone. So we just definitely need a fresh pair of hands. Of course, the next day, it was on a Saturday, we visited a very senior comrade of we party, when a former minister, also now the former president and his Kamara regime. We used to call him the chairman of chairmen. We're in the western area. Then comrade Aliyu Momodu Patso, we visited him at his residence. And of course, it was a visit among all of the other things where he was so happy for that visit. He was so happy. He was even looking forward to it. He said, from all people that they can at this country, Dr. Samura now one of the very first people we don't visit on my house and he go seek in blessing and in support. Patso was very pleased. He said he was really hopeful and looking forward to that. And indeed, Dr. Samura Kamara paid him that visit. So he appreciated it big time. In fact, from there, Comrade Patso joined we now. We begin the visit the Sierra Leonean owned businesses now the southeast of the UK, outside the bulk of the Sierra Leoneans they reside. We visit from one store to the other, one business center to the other. Patso graciously get for say, no, Doc, I need for join you, team, I need for join you, but we all go and visit with people. And that became, one of the most significant moments also in the Dr. Samura Kamara visitation to the UK. because one of the purposes of that particular visit is I forget an interactive session with Sierra Leoneans, understand what are the challenges that with the business community they face, because you and I know that the bulk of them, so many of their produce, they are being imported from Sierra Leone. So he wants to understand the constraints. What are the disadvantages? What are the challenges they would to go through? If in terms of foreign exchanges, if in terms of packaging, just to make it understand what are the most precious needs. So he did have a fantastic conversation with Sierra Leonean businesses, and he also used that opportunity for making invite them to a town hall meeting where had been the following day, which was slated for the 7th of May. At that town hall meeting, of course, it was an interactive session. It was a conversation. It was not like you get one of those meetings when I was just one person to talk to them. They say, okay, bye-bye, school on close, all man going to house. No. This one, he wanted to have a conversation with the people. So that like I talk to you, you talk to me, I understand, we share knowledge. And also he used that opportunity for bring forth some of in manifesto policies where he intend very soon where he get for launch, where he get for be in Bible or in manual going into the June 24 general election. You saw the number of Sierra Leoneans who came out in their hundreds from all parts of the UK, without the Kamara, Manchester, Readings, and so many other places. They had a conversation, fantastic conversation that he had with them. And in fact, even though we were a little challenged with the venue, but you would kind of see hundreds and hundreds of people, if not to 1,000 people will be there and holy. Nobody even care about whether they were standing, sitting down or not. All they wanted to see and hear was the next president of Sierra Leone who had a message for them. And boy, he delivered that message economic message. It was a message where it touched to the core of every Sierra Leonean, where you get families in Sierra Leone who are also affected. Because if somebody say, oh, me are not affected by what is happening in Sierra Leone, that is because sometimes A, you not get project where they do in Sierra Leone, B, you not get family members that will depend on you. Because if you have all of those, trust me, you'll be affected. And those are the people who Dr. Samura Kamara be need for speak to. And he spoke directly to their hearts and to the issues that are affecting them and Sierra Leone in general. Came out on that, was a fantastic meeting. Fantastic meeting, I must confess. Fantastic meeting. One of the largest gathering you can ever have for any political leader we don't ever can at the UK for engage in political conversation with their people. And then again, I know it's a little bit long. I just take you in sequence.
Yeah, just a summary.
And then again, on the 8th of May, which was on a Monday, Dr. Samura Kamara, in fact, no, on the Sunday, before we went to the town hall meeting, he had he also went to the Methodist church, Kamara, where he had a service with Sierra Leonean communities again. Because the Friday we don't pray with the Muslim people, and then Sunday he wanted to have a conversation with the Christian brothers and sisters. And also was also invited there. Had a fantastic message, the same message, one of hope, one of reassuring Sierra Leoneans that is going to be the man for them. It was after that meeting that he went straight away to the HQs of the Commonwealth, where he get a private meeting with the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, where it turned out to be another fantastic meeting. After that meeting, of course, the town hall meeting later in the evening for him. And then the next day, of course, he used that one day also, we didn't forget another session of an interview with the BBC. So the BBC literally contacted and said, we're not done with your man yet. We need to have one more of him. You know, we had a focus on Africa Radio. Now we want to do the TV. Is he available? Of course, we say he is available. This is why he's here, to speak to his people and to communicate to the international community. So he had a BBC TV interview also, fantastic interview also, where he spoke about his manifesto policies and other things that we can do for Sierra Leone. And then the next day, of course, we had a session, the Houses of Parliament. We met the Committee on Foreign Affairs. It met the whole committee, a cross-section, not the whole committee, but a cross-section of the committee. I will say 50%, because the committee is about 6 to 7 members the way they make up the committee. So he met with the committee on foreign affairs, 4 of them. They came to that meeting. He delivered a message on what is expected of the committee. Of course, considering our historic tie with the UK government, he spoke directly to them as lawmakers, and try to seek their intervention on so many areas.
Interesting analysis. Adams, sorry, 1 minute, Comrade Adams. Let me just interject you 1 second. I just want to bring in we other guest, and make himself can introduce himself. Then you carry on. I love the analysis, and everybody love the analysis equally so. And viewers and listeners, them as I don't introduce we guest earlier on when our comrade Imran Toure, where everybody they call the political beast, the political animal on social media, man where they defend and attack the SLPP in our social media. So viewers, them please join me as I welcome comrade Imran Toure. Please introduce yourself. Your volume. No, the viewers they need to hear you.
Famulem in a cabo plenty couchette in all.
Good.
First and foremost, I want to say cabo and couchette to the host, Mr. Mixa Kebe. I want to tell you thank you for giving me the opportunity for there with you today, and also for extend love, gratitude, and respect to my co-panelist, Mr. Adams. I tell you now, thank you. And I tell the people in their homes them, where they watch we, Cabo, and Kushe to them all.
Thank you so much, Comrade Imran. So over to you, Comrade Adams, because this analysis, the reason we to make the rationale behind this analysis, now because a lot of people in the diaspora nationwide not able to know exactly what Dr. Samura they can do in the UK. But now you don't begin explain to them in details. Just conclude, sir.
Thank you. So basically, the Tuesday, which was the 9th, again, as I say, we get a session at the committee room on the House of Parliament. Met with the Committee on Foreign Affairs, the leadership of Foreign Affairs. They had a fantastic meeting. There's a whole lot of issues, concerns here and there, and some of which are now being addressed. From there, we also get a session, of course, now Chatham House. Of course, for people who know what Chatham House is, this is not the largest global think tank in the world outside of the Americans, wherein you get foreign policy makers, government functionaries, presidents, prime minister, leaders here and there, consultants, global consultants. This is where they come to speak to leaders. This is where they give policy suggestions. This is where international business partners come in to pitch into potential investors. And that was the platform that Dr. Samura Kamara gets. And it's a global forum. It was being streamed right around the world. He was speaking to the international community as to his policies, where he gets for Sierra Leone, including global foreign policies, what he intends to do. So basically, the theme of that speech was talking about policy, alternative, and social pluralism. So what did that basically mean in a nutshell, that what him as a person, as Dr. Samura Kamara, will do alternatively to what is currently happening in Sierra Leone, and what are his policy manifestos with regards to political cohesion and social pluralism in Sierra Leone. So these are the kind of analysis and way Dr. Samura being able to talk about Nana particular events. But of course, before Ikande, he was also invited the Ministry of Defense. He had also a private meeting with one of the very senior directors in the Ministry of Defense here in the UK. So they had a conversation. Outside of there, we also get a meeting at the House of Lords. He also went to the House of Lords that particular evening, had a meeting at the Lords, came out again, met with a couple of Lords who are lawmakers also. Of course, you know the rankings between Houses of Parliament and the House of Lords. Had a meeting there also, came out fantastic. And in fact, after a meeting with the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, one of them came and said, we would like to have the doctor attend parliamentary question time. Is he going to be available? I said, all right, let me speak to his PA and then see what his availability is like for tomorrow. So I go and whisper in his ear and say, of course, he's going to be happy to do it. So I'm happy for say Dr. Samura Kamara, now the first Sierra Leonean presidential candidate, or I would say leader, will go right now the chambers of parliament for go visit and listen to parliamentary question time live here in the UK. He was there. Dr. Samura Kamara witnessed that debate also. He also gets an interactive session here and there with a couple of lawmakers. From there, we had
Comrade Adam, sorry about that to interject you. Can you just repeat that again for viewers and listeners? May they understand, say Dr. Samura is one of the first promising presidents for witness the House of Commons debates.
Yes,
there. Please
yes. I want to say here authoritatively that after the meeting with this Foreign Affairs Select Committee, right, and Dr. Samura Kamara was approached for make a visit again the Houses of Parliament on the 10th of May, which was on a Wednesday, which is then called now PMQs, Parliamentary Question Time. That's the day where the Prime Minister, the day at the well of Parliament, answering to questions from opposition members and also party members of his. Dr. Samura Kamara was invited there. He went right. In fact, that invitation can only come from one person. That is the Speaker of the Parliament. Only the Speaker and get the authority for invite anybody for going to the chambers because that's his domain. He's a custodian of the Houses of Parliament. So the Speaker invited Dr. Samura Kamara for go witness PMQ right inside the UK Parliament. Yes, he was there.
Good.
And of course, again from there, he had a visitation with families here and there. I began for touch base with his family, and of course, after which he also had series of interactive sessions with Sierra Leoneans, of course, comrades of the party, including members of the UKNI executive, who then have been going, began to get a post meeting with them here and there. It was a fantastic meeting. The visit itself, I would say, it was 110% success, not even 100%. Fantastic. Everything that Dr. Samura and the team set out to do, it was accomplished to the maximum. And I want to say here, very soon, we will hear from them. Very soon, we will hear from them.
Thank you so much. Thank you ever so much, Comrade Adams. Well, viewers and listeners, as soon as from the man way orchestrate and facilitate most of the connections there with the Chatham House and the foreign international stem, that now Comrade Adams just don't get in submission. Very brilliant, and it just don't summarize everything. Now, today, our main topic about 2023 election sensitization. However, we limit her into 3 topics. We just don't shift away because we deal with issues them according to how they emerge. And the latest information we'll gather from the leadership of the party, the secretariat, is that tomorrow, the ECSL, then they get a float parade in the country. So there, we advise every APCian within the country, make them not come on for go join that float parade day. But always they encourage you for do now for go collect a voter ID card, which is important to win the APC in the forthcoming elections. Now we can play a video because we can get a critical analysis on something where they happen right now with ECSL and the people of Sierra Leone, because they play with the lives of the people of Sierra Leone. And do ya would not misquote or misinterpret with panelists and because they can give a genuine opinion about what they think. I know go want the people and feel say they can misquote or misinterpret things with their own opinion. Now, opinion they can discuss now based on the video, and then we'll take it further. So, technical director Mo, can you please play the video for we panelists them as well as the listeners and viewers? May them watch them and then we can analyze them critically. Thank you.
The issue about the voters' ID card photos, as a commission, it's a concern to all of us, and we are in discussion with the vendor to discuss how do we address the issue of the photos. Apart from the photos, and not all of the cards that have bad photos, as you can see from here, You have this one which is black and white. You have another with black and white color. You have some new registrants which are colored, just like this. So these are some of the samples. In other words, we have reached out to the supplier, and we are going to have serious discussion with the vendor to clearly understand why do we have 80% or 90% of the card as provided for in the contract to be colored card, but some of the photos are black and some are very difficult to understand. And then we'll come back to the public. But what is I want us to understand with this card, whether photoless or no photo, the details we have here in terms we have in the voter register, the pictures are very clear that when you go for at the poll on the polling day, your ID card will be viewed in relation to what we have in the voter register. To compare the ID card number and your photo that we have in the voter register. So whether it is color or not, at the end of the day, you will be identified as voters during the election, during the polling day. In fact, as a matter of fact, the law says whether you go with your ID card or not, as long as you register, you are on our register, you'll be allowed to vote. However, that notwithstanding, because of the level of integrity and public interest in the photo, the quality of the photos, the Commission has taken decision to engage the vendor and then to address this issue. We are going to address it in several ways. We cannot say we have to return all the 3,700 something cards.
Wow. So when I all don't listen to waiting exactly Mohamed Kone, when the ECSL boss na Sierra Leone don't explain to Sierra Leoneans them with regards to the voter ID cards them. They don't make them categorically clear. Now I get my panelists them who they can analyze them bit by bit. According to Mohamed Kone, he say 80 to 90% of the voter ID card, then be they expect them for be colored. When I listen, he say 80 to 90%, then they expect them for be colored. But now the voter ID card then can turn out for be some then they na black and white. Some then they them very difficult for understand. Then they clearly don't tell you, see, if people then go vote, they get the potential for undermine the right of the Sierra Leoneans then will get for go vote simply because the voter ID card, some then they we colored, some they don't we not colored. So do ya Imran Toure, you go able for tell we waiting exactly the ECSL, waiting the mean for say 90% what they expect, they're not able to get the number from the vendors them. You go able to tell we? Are you muted? Unmute yourself and slant your phone. Imran is frozen. Okay, let me go to Comrade Adams. I'll ask Adams this question. Comrade Adams, the ACSL boss just don't mention that video for say 80 to 90% of the voter registration card, they be expected for be colored, but then turn out for be black and white. But even though they be black and white, some of them photos then they we then get now the voter register. When I listen, he said the photos we then get now the voter registered now colored and it clear, but the photos where they that the ID card itself, what people then go collect, is not clear. What in exactly if you say ECSL they up to?
Right. Mixer, let me go straight to the point. This is not a question of whether the cards were cleared or not. This is a part of the grand scheme of plan where both the ECSL and the SLPP government, the plan for ensure say there is an outright victory for the current SLPP government, of which during the course of his nomination, he was accused to have been a card-carrying member of the SLPP. Now, in simple terms, before I decant to some of the assertions that we make, which up until now, 2 months or probably 3 months down the line, no remedial actions have been taken for ensure say there are being corrective measures. If they say they were going to have a serious conversation with the vendor, that don't tell you say certainly there is a breach in simple contractual terms, right? There is, it's whatever the vendor do, it amounts to a breach of contract. This is something that I know very well, so I don't even need anybody for explaining it to me. Anything when you don't go into terms of an agreement and one party on the other hand renege on what had been agreed, what had been signed to, it constitutes a breach. That's a breach. Let alone 80 to 90% of that stands for say they should be colored. And then it turns out that it's a complete opposite. 80 to 90% of them were black and white. That's a major breach of that particular contract, for which somebody either go seek restitutive action, go to court or whatever, terminate the deal and say, give we money back and then get another source for making a reprogram or reprocess them ASAP. But the reason here is ECSL not able to come out for tell you who that they exactly they behind the vendor. We make up until now the so-called serious conversation that they were meant to have had with the vendor. We're not able to forget that conversation date. We don't even know what is happening or what has happened ever since that particular news conference the way it gets. And then here is, they tell we say, well, as far as they are concerned, then get for March the data or the picture the way the people then get as with regards to what they get now then database for making them CC okay, or the pictures then clear. But well, here me now one of them people indeed.
I just want to come to that question there, Comrade Adams. You are very critical. Just hold on here 1 second for slack out, Comrade Imran, quickly. Sorry about that. I just want to come to that. Yes, Comrade Imran. And I don't ask you one question earlier on, but Adams don't answer that question. I don't know if you get any different answer to that question also, but I go be a follow-up question with regards to that. The ECSL boss just don't talk about the video. Whoa, all don't watch. He say then gets over 3,700. He used the word and something. So which means you don't even know the correct figure. 3,700 and something cards the way they need for return. He used the word something. We don't even know the correct figure. What if he's in the negative impact of that 3,700 and something? We get forget on the APC or neither the people of Sierra Leone. What exactly if he see the ECSL boss then they up to? Please tell us. Oh, Imran is frozen again today. Imran, if you're frozen, man, I don't have to keep on. I know they keep on for interject Adams. You need for the land, you know, because if you're frozen, Adams will take care of this event here thoroughly. Okay, Comrade Adams, sorry to interject you earlier on. Please go ahead and complete your analysis before ever we come back by the same.
Just very quickly. Okay, what I will talk say, I will talk about the terms of a breach.
Yeah.
We and ECSL and boss say, well, they will compare your face or what have you to what in the database. Well, me here seated, if me go there now with the card way I get, how black and dangerous my face look, I could be refused an opportunity to vote. Exactly. Because the card way I get does not anywhere represent me. Period. So make the ECSL boss not they can't talk to we as if like for say we know some people will come up somewhere around space or mass, we don't even know what they talk about. Now, the point where we talk about here, there's a couple of issues. One, they talk about some 3,000 something. No, 3,000 something, that's less than 0.01% of the number we talk about.
Okay.
It's way more than that. Sometimes maybe in maths not be right. He probably meant 3 million something or 300 something thousand. I don't. It probably meant something like that. But it might not look add up yonder. Definitely, you cannot have 3,700 and then you go say 80 to 90% were meant to have been colored. No, if I don't correct that one, if I don't tell we say, oh no, we only have less than 0.05%. So it might not even look accurate yonder. And I hope it was a mistake that he made. And maybe go down go sit down and see he made a mess of himself on that particular conference day. That's not what it is. It's way more than that. They talk about the total number of registrants in the county. I suppose that's what it meant. Because up until now, we're still not able to forget the disaggregated number of registrants in the country. What in that mean? By polling station, by district, by ward, by how do you call it, region and all that. Now we get that disaggregated number there. Now ain't able for tell me say me Adams so you don't so the sour and register my name indeed appear naya I get for vote. Because what we don't want now for make son tell me brother Imran get for go vote, then tell and say, well Imran I can't be another be register. Then we go for go vote. No Imran you name na kona dugu, you name na these are some of the challenges that we are facing right now. We make we they ask for some of them facts there. It does not cost anything for make we able to get up to them facts there. If you don't tell me, say 3 months down the line, for printing error that should have been corrected, by now, up until now, you're not able to correct them. When do you want to take remedial actions for that? Now, the day of elections, for go tell me, say, oh no, but your face not clear. When you go wait me for small that people they can't vote. What's opportunity, whose time we I get to raise a petition? What opportunity or what how I go even know say my petition is going to be hard? Or we give you an opportunity for make I exercise my only right, my democratic right, my democratic franchise for ensure that I be a part or I take part into who governs me that for the next 5 years in Sierra Leone. We've been deprived of that opportunity. And I hope the leadership of the APC party will not just give in to that for ensure say we get down to the bottom of this. We get down to the bottom of this. I don't care what is going to take us, but we need to get to the bottom of it. Because for far too long, we've been taken for granted by both the ECSL and the current government. That, oh, we just a brag, we just a saying, give them no more 7 days. Because that's not the children don't can know the average Sierra Leonean for the level of disrespect by our government. Give them 7 days no more, it will fade out. It will phase out. They will forget about that. And I am hoping that the leadership of our party will not just give in into this mess. We will stand right behind our people and ensure so we get them right, because this is part of the grand scheme of plan for rig the election. Plain and simple. It is a part of the grand scheme of things for me to rig this election. There are no two ways about it. First, it was census. When they can and see say we people and register past them, they say more we pull another alternative. Now you don't count to voter ID card. After voter ID card, they will come up with another one. So until they begin to fling with names here and there. In all of them, 4 weeks down to elections, we still do not have the disaggregated number of registrants. Now the entire country.
And that is key in this election.
Very important.
Very important. Sorry, Comrade Adams. Imran. Hello, Imran.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you right now. Yeah, go ahead.
As I say again, Famule Minakaba and Kushe. I listened to my brother, Mr. Adams Bangua. Really delighted where he bring the points where he bring come. But I go get for disagree in many ways. In a sense, say, waiting with the talk about Naya, the contractual issue, it is not APC's problem. It is between the vendor and the ECSL. Waiting are we on issue Naya. Then do a biometric registration. And biometric don't end up now for be fankadama. Some yellow, some colored, some black and white, some green, some blue. That is not our problem. Our problem is we expect a standard way go affect how we go able to take part in the elections. The man said 10%. And I wonder APC then listen to this. It's very crucial. You remember, during the registration, we don't already lost 250,000 voters them. Don't disappear at the Northwest. Then now, waiting the man they propose, they talk say 10%. Let us don't take it lightly. Because if the voters them alone, now 3 million people, 10%, now a whopping 300,000 people. I repeat, if 10% faulty we don't know where the 10% is. And the statistics where they use for convey the information, how did they get it? Which process they use for ascertain that? But 10% is missing or deemed faulty. Just that amount, it would be 300,000 people. And remember, the elections, it just take 51% for let Uda they win. 51%. So the 51%, we get 49%, we don't lose. So 1% is not a problem. The real problem is, outside the 10% they come out. Then I make the whole hell of a difference. All hell of a difference. These are a very narrow margin elections. Remember, NGC don't come out, they don't go join with them. So the battle is between APC and SLPP. Remember, 10%.
Comrade Imran, before you go ahead, let me just interject you quickly, because you don't use the term say the battle is between APC and the SLPP, and this is where Adams and they tell you say instead get right into this, because now a battle of the APC also and a concern for a APC. Go ahead.
Mr. Mixer, before my brother come in, I think he probably even gets me assertion wrong and aside it.
No, it's okay, Adams, Comrade Adams.
No,
It's okay.
I just want to make so at least so we'll know. But at least I've made the viewers know since they get connectivity issues. I did not say it's an APC problem. What I said was we have a challenge for we as a party. It is the grand scheme of things as to what in them plan for rig the election.
Good.
You understand? Not so we get in government, not so we give contractor. You understand? What you mean try for say here? If the ECSL and the SLPP party, if this is not part of the grand scheme, there are two things. If there is a breach of any terms in a contractual agreement, there are remedial actions. ECSF for don't terminate this deal right from that moment and act to make them refund the money, whatever percentage they don't pay, and take corrective action for sort amount. Now that's not the point to have the chat for say. And call on the APC party for ensure say we did not give in into this kind of grand scheme of things where they plan for me and rig we. So go ahead. I just want to make you get that.
It's clear.
The point where I mean, they tried for make, it was not an attack. I just tried for make certain things then clear.
Okay.
We as a party, I am an APC as well.
Exactly.
We issue Naya is not a that of contract. That should not worry us. It is between ECSL and whosoever the vendor is. What we should be concerned about and for hold them to account for election a process of which now is stage by stage, step by step. Every step they affect the next step when they come along. It's like where you they eat, you get what they call digestion. Where you put the food now, you must digestion process the start. You they masticate the food for make the tylene go able go inside the food for make digestion start. If you not charm the food, you swell around. That means to say it's not going to penetrate through the food, and the peristaltic movement cells can be problematic. So digestion not going to be adequately done. So you find out for say now the same thing they happen now. Yeah. Each process they affect the other. You remember where they do the registration, how stringent they make them. For them they make them almost impossible for the new voters them. When they talk for say anybody who get for come for them can approve or for can register, they get for bring them birth certificate. When they bring them birth certificate, somebody get for come where they can ascertain who this person is. Oh, we don't want birth certificate. Oh, we don't want this. They make them increasingly difficult where quite a lot of people are not be able to register. They alienate a lot of people through that process. So if they make them so stringent on the voter, when they don't get it wrong.
Oh God, it's gone again.
Hello? Yeah. If they don't get it wrong, why can't they take responsibility, say we don't get it wrong, and if it is wrong as how it is, it will affect the contestants them. And we don't complain, say it affects we already. where the disaggregated documents them, not recreate for that we plan adequately. We get one issue with a card, we not sort them it. Disaggregated voters list, safe, they don't hand them over. And we need that. Now that's going to make we ascertain and know almost stations that then we go need now various centers for let we organize ourselves adequately for deal with elections. But mind you, the man they talk, like for say, it is just a casual thing going on here. If una come, it not going to affect the election. Nonsense. I not going to affect the elections like that. Again for Charlie, if you face, now ghost face, they're not they see you, then there are question marks. We do not want to take chances. I feel at this point and at this juncture, it's a 10%. 10% in a case of voting. Straight away, if not 3 million people, now a whopping 300,000 people, they don't disenfranchise. So that's
okay, Comrade Imran.
What if that 300,000 now Northwest come out?
Comrade Imran.
We are doomed. We should not walk into the abattoir. We should not allow them people there for make turkey vote for Christmas. Because if we accept this, I feel to say I support 100% what you Secretary General talk, but we for go further. I feel say them for start an injunction for stop these elections.
Okay, and
because it's not going to be in
1 second,
favor.
please. You hear me?
SLPP not complain.
You get me clear?
Because it not affects them. It not affect them at all. Because this is a grand scheme. They don't begin this rigging here from 2018. Take them to this level. If you notice, they go and go to court against Dr. Samura. Now, for make them destabilize the party, put you on the wrong footing. Then they get APC go to court, get rid of all we executives. Those things they did were premeditated, and then do them for make them not go able to forget opposition when they do all them bad practices there. Now, all of a sudden, if you notice, they just say, let them left the case after the election because they have achieved what they wanted.
You know they hear me? You get me clear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, me they hear you, yeah. But you have to hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But you don't hear me.
So what
hold on 1 second. I just want to interject you because
now a grand scheme of things.
Good. Comrade Imran, because of time, now just one important question before ever I bring my co-host when Ahmed Bangura.
Yeah.
I want to let you and Comrade Adams just share. Now let's say I can hear you. Just hold on 1 second, please. Yeah. Let's say for example, the ECSL boss say then get in contact with the vendors, and the vendors now the people that wouldn't get contract with for make their ID cards here. If them people and they therefore can answer and accept, say the cards them faulty, what do you feel say ECSL for do, and what do you feel say Sierra Leoneans them for do, with specific reference to the APC?
Would you see a flight mode? If I put on flight mode, would it?
Adams, you can come on. Comrade Adams, you can come on and get it.
Mixer.
Yeah.
It's not a question of mere ECSL wait for where the vendor can confirm to them. It is already evident,
exactly,
based on the output of what has been produced. For say, it is a contract that was prone with error. It's already evidently clear. If you don't sign for 80-90% of colored items that needed to have been produced, well, anything thereof, anything short of that, that's it amounts to a breach.
Exactly.
You understand? I deal with contractors. I get people who supply me when I the order. I know what it means when you go beyond certain requirements. It amounts to a breach. Plain and simple. It is either you call for a replacement, they can't take that one, they send you other one, or you call for a refund. Then you go buy other side if after all you need for. ECSL know precisely say that is a breach. They don't need for wait for the vendor for confirm that. They
so
know
in a situation like this, Comrade Adams, we have about 34 or 35 days to go to the elections. What do you feel say we get for do now? As a political party?
Again, this is where the consultation comes in.
Good.
You invite the political parties. It does not matter whether ECSL it favors them because we know say 98% of the way they SFPP supporters them anyway. That's a fact. You understand? But what you need to do for the evidence of posterity and all that, for ensure that we get them right. And because we're a very fragile state, that everybody be treated fairly under the law, you they invite all parties that are concerned to a meeting and seek opinion from them.
Good.
And especially those who are mainly affected. The bulk of this affect the opposition stronghold. They should be given a listening ears. You listen to their concerns. You may not be happy with it, but you take it on board and ensure say you take remedial actions. That they tell you say you're doing it in good faith. You're doing it in good faith. But if you fail to listen to them, arrogantly you think say because you're not ECSL, now I made a call for the party, for me we take other actions. Yes, there is the law, but we also know say whenever we go to the court, it is very unlikely that we will get judgment in with favor.
Okay.
It is very unlikely because we already know how the judiciary they work anyway. We know that. We've seen evidence of that. This was the same judiciary they used for make them pull 10 of we members them na parliament because we were going to be waiting the majority at the House of Parliament, of which I will be for decide who becomes speaker. They take foot with as a political party. We went to court. Now both case. So they don't use for do this kind of thing that you go end up any kind of way. More go do no more. So I would say, plus or minus, if ECSF fails to listen to us with the demands that the party don't make, we will have to take to the streets. It is a legal requirement, and then we take for a peaceful protest. Call with people out. The entire leadership of the party leading that march for call ECSF for me to take action for correct this mess. Because this thing will drag on for too long. We have barely 35 days to go.
Precisely. Thank you so much. Let me bring in my co-host. And
that's the only action we go force them to come and listen. I don't care how we're going to do it, but that's the only thing that will force them to listen.
Yeah. We get for use everything that we have. We get for use everything, and court action should not be excluded. Because,
never.
You do nothing, you get nothing. If we don't do them and we fail, we not say at least try and fail is no disgrace. But we use everything within we reach.
Absolutely.
We cannot exclude court action. We apply for an injunction.
Good.
Because this is going, to our disadvantage as it is right now.
That's correct. Good. Let me bring in my co-host right now.
I'm sorry, Mixer. So, my brother Imran, when you say injunction, what sort of an injunction are we seeking? That the elections waiting to be put on hold, or which kind of injunction we talk about?
Therefore, put an injunction for make the election be put on hold until all them things there get corrected. Because you cannot go into a fair election because election is about fairness. Okay. Election is a process. We know that the process itself has been faulty. And if the process faulty, the outcome not going to be desirable. It's not going to be organic.
But again, if then put the elections into hold, what are going to do the funding? How do we facilitate funding for
well, that should not be our problem.
It should not be our problem, Mixer.
Okay.
Again, the vendor will have to be at that cost.
Okay. Because
the vendor will have to be at that cost.
Exactly.
You understand? The vendor will have to be at that cost because, again, I would love to see what the terms of the agreement were. But the vendor will not go to be at that cost.
To be honest, I do not want us to belabor ourselves on issues of contracts because the issue of contracts
no.
is none of our business.
We are just providing solution for the party.
No, we're missing the point,
competitors.
Imran,
we are expecting a point. If CCSL go take a dodgy company, when not fit the purpose, not for them for sort that out. So far we concerned, we therefore make sure say whatever the process is standard entail, that is met to our satisfaction. That's what we should focus on. If we go, look, me not deal with contracts, but I study management. We therefore put our focus in the area where affects we. What it affects we? We go do elections. We are competitors. SLP are competitors. Already we don't see a clear unfairness because the ECSL, they show say then a surrogate SLPP. But you see the officials and team after their office, they put 5 more years. 5 more years. If even that is enough for we to say we don't trust them, we do not want them to continue for run the show, for that we get neutral people and for do them. It is within our rights. Nobody should stop us to do that. So we feel to say we strength Naya is let we focus on the fact say, look, this is a process. We don't see faults. Now, step A, step B, that is the card issue. Then it is aggregated, voters list has not been given. And the more way it come closer, then they prejudice the way we organize ourselves for the elections. Because we need that. Because do you know say every center they get stations them based on the amount of people them we register in the area. Let's just say if now 1,000 people register at point A, the center they divide them 1,000 people and they into stations, and each station they get maximum 300. So now 900 people and go in at 3 stations. So that 3 stations they go left 1 person, but the last station, since now 100 people in left, they get for Adam and the last 300. But if they exceed that, like 2,000, then go make 7 stations because there will be an excess of about 150. When they go round down they up for form a new station, so they go get 7 stations. So all the arrangements there are now important arrangements them where you need for prepare for, do your calculations, get the people them where they work for understand waiting now the challenges where they are ahead of them. We don't get that disaggregated voters list.
Adam, go ahead.
I'll not say somebody they asked a question before I come to that. I just want for maybe Iman understand something very clear.
Okay.
The way the law works is different from how management works. So basically, my brother they talk so with first point of approach. Now for approach the court. I agree with him. Now make us say we get series of action. Point A, we approach the court. Point B is the alternative coming out. But again, when you approach the court, the lawyers will tell you what you go ask the court for do. They're your prayers. They call it prayers. You understand? Not to just for highlight the issues. We already know what's in the issues, but the court will go ask you what in exactly you want to for do. That's how you know the prayers that way to go ask the court for do. You understand? And what would they go ask them for do? One of which is we need the cards and we need precisely the card that we ECS and pay for. That is one. We need to get them. That ain't therefore tell we precisely who is who. And B, we need a disaggregator because I see Commander in the ask say if we have time for remedial actions with 30 days to go. Yes or no, we do. What you gonna make we get now basically the approach where ECSL will take, where it don't take them far this long, over 2 months, for make them for don't take remedial action, for make sure say they correct them. But in addition to that, up until now, they have not issued the disaggregated voter number. And for me, that is even more significant past the color ID card, business no color ID card. Because now in the hotel, we precisely who that get for data who side, who that votes now who side, and how it is going to done. And just because you were registered at a particular center does not guarantee you that you'll be voting at that center. Because you need for no data, therefore don't display the list of people we get for vote as per centers. So people are able for check when they say, now yeah, I get for can vote. If not today, get for go vote when I did be registered. ECS are able for correct and straight away. And ensure society be registered and I did go vote. So as I said,
Comrade Adams, for the fact say, Comrade Adams, sorry about that, for the fact that they refuse for release the voter register when are the disaggregated voter registration. Yeah, does that mean say then get any plans for rig the elections?
But that's part of the grand scheme of things.
Perfect.
That's the grand scheme of things.
This would they do for the listeners and viewers and for me to understand.
From the crooked census, so the faulty registration process, take to the rubbish ID card where they issue to we, and now if they can't to them refusing to issue out the database for make we know who is registered where, who is going. It's all part of the grand scheme of things. But again, I say this with authority.
Do that.
Well, they are taking us for granted. We've been taken for a fool.
Why is that? What is it
We've been taken for a ride.
We've been too lenient as a political party to take certain actions. This is why ECS of things say they can do any kind of thing. Now, chat, now, job, blah, blah, blah. They're getting away with it. Now, we are not asking for much. All that we are asking for is a level playing field. Do it right. If now you for win in a way where you go able to bring we all can together for more work for Mama Saloon. But not cheat me. After you don't cheat me in the process, then you can't tell me, say, for the sake of Salon, we all for work together. Are you mad?
No way. It's not going to happen. So when I take a cup of tea, let me bring in my co-host right now, when I comrade Ahmed Bangura, Aka Mufti. Yeah, Mufti, over to you. What you got for say to listeners, viewers, as well as to panelists?
Mixer. When I thank you. Leader, thank you. When I don't talk, Adams, let God bless you now. Brother Imran, when I don't talk, let God bless you now. All to when I don't talk, it make beaucoup sense. But me, I not just want to focus on everything when I just don't talk. I just want to look some few things because Mixer one way say, look, watch the video and some of the things they will pick up. And before ever I go even say what I pick up, I go make reference to Fatima Bio. One time we don't see how they tell you, say he tell the Sierra Leone people and he tell the world say, then in man, he get degree in election. How for manipulate election till he win. Yeah. So where they deal with them kind of people and they as opposition, therefore really be tactical. Because if you see the way they organize this ID card, my brother, even me, they give me a project, even Tibo in the UK, I get a project for do ID card for you. I'm perfect. They know exactly what they play, they sabi what they do, and they understand what they want to do. But the good thing is, sometimes when you get team with good passing in football, even if they play them, that they lead there, that they really scared, say this, if you see them can't do, no problem. Now, like APC and SLPP. And the good thing is, all the tactics they try to apply through this voters ID card, APC, they pick, they point them along the way, slowly. But me only advise what they gear, if we feel say, maybe we will go back for change all the ID card them, my brother. According to what Mohamed Kone say, he say, even save the card and you go say for go vote that day. He really talk. He say even if you go vote that day, no get ID card safe. As long as I don't know how I put the word, they allow you for vote.
Name them at the voter register.
Yeah, they allow you for
release them. That's true.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That don't tell you I say them man and that card they then get the reason why make them get a different style. Some man are black and white, some man are white, African, some man are Japanese. Then get the reason. But the good thing is now don't pick along the way, so not just focus your attention there because then get that mind game playing SLPP. Now while you go deep on this voters card ID fight, then they can campaign. So now we don't listen the Northwest now almost more of APC. Then Makini na APC. Who say no say na SLPP stronghold who say for beginning to do campaign and they will focus the campaign. Because if not the campaign, so no more they go now this now they go and crack na corner more ego more we because then guys they know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly what they want to do. And what Imran they talk are the supporter 100%. So violence, they can't for preach violence here, but SLPP, the APC therefore step up a little bit in the game. Because sometimes they therefore begin to see some resistance. Now go begin to say, them are even now, APC one rally, they say nothing. Why? One demonstrates the people of Salon, they say they want demonstrate, no one allow them for let them demonstrate. One thing people not realize, Madabio not to president again for the country. He's a flag bearer and Alex Samura. Now the people are the in charge of the country now. Lord, say now the police and the Sojaman and the judiciary. So the people are now therefore begin to really give them pressure for say this for happen. They say therefore begin to step in. But if you get people away, be say they say all man afraid for life. Even me today, without another sad news, I say beaucoup people in the pack for left Salon for go Guinea. If you all man come on for go Guinea, who that go vote? So now we are voting at the main topic, how for sensitize people and for really retain the voters ID card no matter how you be first all because now you get them put it as Japanese way say now African all out you get first. Where all Lord you go small, Lord you go small, Lord try for campaign more like them Kono area, Lord you send people and for go campaign talk to people because now the campaign hard but not too hard too much. Just like what people that are talking now. If you say they enjoy vote for this who neighbor them. If you know say they suffer, vote for Mr. Red. This is simple. You know, because now it's not a politician for so they can't do this, just listing voting politician and just can't tell you and promises. This is sad for Sierra Leone then. Sierra Leone today they see people they go campaign with music. Now we don't have power for 5 years. You know, get not to can't tell you music they play. That's because they know see the people they're vulnerable. The people they say no matter what happen, quick they don't forget. Just like what Adam said, quick they don't forget Saloma. We don't forget quick. For all the beats, for all the people that don't imprison, the people that don't kill. So man really now want to forget for say, them are we fit or pull them. So now some of them message are now one pass strong to the Sierra Leone and for say, guess what? If we see there again for the last time, this party come back in the power. People are there for suffer. People are there for suffer. And if you're there 5 years and not do nothing, when I give them back another 5 years, another disaster. So we therefore really pay attention and for know how to pull them guy out from power. And pull them from power, any kind of tactics for them for apply. Any kind of tactics for apply. They give you, we say forgive them. They give you this, you say forgive them. But for so they sit down, they make like that free because they can't hear when they couldn't attack, they say then they don't free. Because now they get them audio, they pull rebel, they attack and they don't bring gun, then what they do all people don't know for just panic.
Thank you so
people
much.
Don't know for just panic. And if you see even within the policeman, they then get more APC policemen than pass them. Even the military, APC people they beaucoup pass them. Now time no more they wait for. Thing go there for change, then we go surprise. Them are all give guns. So now all the APC people don't give guns. So like na main demand. Certain something main demand and the way they talk to them, like the country they tell you say, oh no mind, let's other person there, but this man need for come on.
Okay.
This will caretaker, or there for pull on. Or there for fend all kind we talk to people alone pull on full.
Thank you so much, Comrade Ahmed Bangura, aka Mufti. Before ever they bring in panelists again, I go want to acknowledge the presence of we listeners and viewers that were in the lobby right now. I go want to welcome Asatu Kaiko. I go want to welcome Mohamed Kamara, Winner Supermed. I go want to welcome Gustav Kanu. Melvin Thomas is in the building right now with us. I go want to welcome Fatimata Banks. I go want to welcome Umar Sise. I go also want to acknowledge the presence of Fatimata Ntoma Kamara. I go want to acknowledge also Zainab Toli, where everybody they call ZO is now with us. A day right now at the lobby, they watch this program. I go want to welcome also Mo Bangura, one of the technical director and the PRO of the Backshare. I go want to welcome Delwin Thomas, one of we IT gurus then at the branch. I go want for also welcome Mr. Fatimata Banks. So various them as when I don't hear waiting me co-host don't say I go back to we panelists them because as I tell you earlier on, the main essence and the purpose of this show is about 2023 election sensitization. The rationale for this now for bringing guests them when they can make policy statements, but also we don't want many viewers and listeners them misconstrue their statements, make them misinterpret them, but then they are for can educate we and then for can tell we waiting we don't know. For example, me don't learn something today, even though I was with Dr. Samura's movement when he visited in the UK, something the way Adam's talk today, we myself not be know about, and viewers themselves there, they self not be know about. So this is the essence where they learn from each other. The viewers, the panelists, they don't educate we a lot. We move now to another critical topic. We just don't exhaust this voter ID card. Of course, we don't make them very clear. And to the summary of that is the party for stand very firm. But also, I go on for reminder that today the party don't release two statements. Then one audio. We see the Tunis don't appeal to every APCN, every comrade of the APC. Do you within a salon tomorrow? Would I not go out for go follow the ECSL, then float parade, then call them float parade. Make nobody not go out. However, when I please go for go collect on a voter ID card, which is very, very important. And also the party don't make them very clear, see, then they pursue the ECSL. Now make it I go over to the police them. Yesterday we see
Daddy 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Before we go, there is something where I see we make like a cliche.
Okay, go ahead and clarify that.
It is the elephant in the room.
Please do.
That's something where it is as black and white.
Good.
That 10%, what would they play with Naya? They only take 50-50 withdraw.
Okay.
51%, whosoever gets up, you win. That 1%, where the person will get 51% gets, then the one will get the 49%. the 1% is not as significant and important like the 10% we lost. That 10% they will lose, it will not prevent this person will get the 49% for get over the line and even beat this other person. Because that 10% where the man talk about. We don't know who say pull his statistics. But me they tell anybody who sabi mathematics. Me not sabi mathematics, so I already claim that.
Okay.
But if the voters not 3 million people, that 10% they is equivalent to 300,000 voters. Automatically, 300,000 voters. So if you take them, you add them for the 250,000 where we don't lose. Automatically, now 500,000 people don't go through. Who said that 500,000 they get for commot? You know, this is more important than most other things that we people when they talk about.
So what's advice will you get for the APC political party?
Advice is,
thank you. Yes.
Just like how Mr. Bangura put them, Mr. Adams Bangura put them.
Good.
We're not going to left any stone unturned.
Precisely.
Look, the people them, they fit here, they talk to them, they get float. They say we're not for matching the street, but ECSL, they make float, waiting a float. Now for like a big crowd of people and they walk on the street and they go and dance.
Yes.
But we not allowed for one. You see, then they make the law as it suits them. Now pay as you go. You know? So it is not an even playing field. It is not even. So if you look at something like this, we can go, seek in the injunction, ask them say, we not feel to say the process has been followed stringently, fairly, and correctly. And if they do them that way, it go create confusion, it go create doubt, and if doubt they go supposed to be for them. People do not believe the magician. Because then believe that the magician, they play on show trick. We all know say there is fire in the mountain. So if there is fire, let's prevent it.
Yeah.
Let we go seek injunction. We not say they cut, they corrupt. But one thing was very important. Where APC go team up, where them push them na the wall for act, then go say, we're not going to court and say no. So if we go to court, then go do whatever do. That's what we problem. But at least we get them on record say, we went to court to try and rectify the mistakes because these are catalogs of mistakes. Let's call them mistakes hypothetically. But if there are mistakes, they should be corrected. Now, this man they tell we say, no, we don't go to them people that would contract. If you get party, you hire a caterer. You say you get 50 people. Where the people in Canada, the rest not do. Not so your business who that he hire. Your business is people that don't can they want for eat.
Yeah.
Provide them with food. Do something now. And the something what they for do, they don't renege in their responsibility towards us. And we are part of the process. We they take part. And the thing that will not happen, when they don't breach them processes there, the step-by-step process. Forget a certified end. When we give you satisfaction or everybody satisfaction, say this election here is free and fair. Me brother, if they're not correct anything here, this election, it will be a fraudulent and fearful election. It will create situation when I go funny. Now that make me they ask APC, please, we not say they cut them dirty. We not for say they cut them no fear. But let we go there for let we protect with backs. Say we have gone to them, we make we case, say they have not followed the process.
It's frozen again.
Problems. So let it adjourn them. So a suited date where all them processes there, we don't get the right.
Okay.
If we don't do that.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Comrade Adams, summarize for we with regard to the ECSL in relation to the voter ID card irregularities, the malpractices, what they foresee or believe for come. Please tell us something about it.
Before I go to the summary, I just in addition to waiting, my brother Iman said, there's one reason for the float parade.
Okay.
ECSL APC don't approach them with them various concerns. Because they're not ready for address with concerns. This is why they have come up with the float parade activities. For the life of me, I'm not able to remember where previous electoral commissioners then towards an election, they say they get a float parade for ECS.
God bless you.
Yes. I have never, for the life of me, as an adult and salon, we don't vote the previous election, last 2-3 elections as alone. We don't ever aware of this kind of thing. The reason for that, they want for friend a subtle justification to the international community and other people. That is why Ahmed Kone, they say, now 3,700 and something voter ID can't get problem. No, he's wrong. Like Imran, they say, I don't know smart way the man do.
I swear to God.
Because 3,000 something, not for be an issue. Enough for be that less than 1 hour, less than 24 hours, you don't solve that one day. Enough for be an issue. We are talking about a numbers undisclosed.
Yes. Over 300,000.
We are talking about numbers of undisclosed. But because you don't know about APC, their stance and action, now I make the one use the float parade for justify their actions. Say, look at the number of people who came out in our float parade. Now for tell you say, then people are then ready for go vote. We're not stupid.
At all not.
It's part of the grand scheme.
Exactly.
Like Tunis say, our supporters should not be going there.
No
but
way.
We also want for say now, whether we get time in our favor or not, we will approach the court with a seek an emergency action.
Yeah.
We approach the court, we give the court, again, we need to give court a time. But for us, this is for the sake of expediency.
Yes.
It is a political movement, it's a political action.
Yes.
We tell the court and ECS and say, we give us 72 hours or 1 week. If we are not address this thing out, we are coming out with our people. If the salon government and Sabi and say, if when people they ask for fear things, now for go kill, women then go kill we all. Because some of us were coming there.
Yeah.
We then go kill we all, bro.
And that also is our constitutional right to come out.
Kill me today. Somebody go for grab up tomorrow, we go hold it to account. Just like that, they don't kill so. Just like that, they don't kill so. I know for a fact somebody get for hold it to account at some point. You go kill say, but not to all blood. You go church.
No way.
For the Sanko kill say, you know, even know I end up for disgrace the way you end up so.
Yep.
And say I don't live on for another day. So me not even afraid that kind of way. Oh, not I'm not even bothered about that. I mean, go go register, go. I'm not worried about that. Whatever it is that I'm doing and say it's within the laws and within the right of me as a Sierra Leonean. We are asking ECSL for do the right thing. We're not asking for much. Whatever it is, if now the government God say get for win, nobody can change that because some of us are believers. But do the right thing anyway.
Do the right thing.
No go disenfranchise the next man, then the next one can preach to me about love of country. No.
Yeah, waiting, but it's still a camp.
That's why you don't disadvantage me. One can tell me, say, oh, now for show love to your country. Do the right thing and let us show love collectively for our country, where we country develop. We're not asking for much. All that we are saying, do the right thing, correct some of them things that are anomalies there, we don't be of a major concern to we. You cannot be depriving us of coming out, and then you see the government of the day, them supporters, and they're all over the place. Nobody is stopping them. And this is why I am angry with my party. That we see that they do their own things, and we're would afraid for come on. What are we scared about? The same right to the same right to self Ghana saloon.
Exactly.
But somebody has got to be at the lead. For make that happen, the leadership of the party for day before. Now that go give the courage and everything will inspire with voters and supporters and for say, you know what, we are all coming out.
Well, Comrade Adams and Comrade Imran, let me bring on this topic also. We're very, very important. We all don't talk about the APC, the stance to hold on ready for take against the ECSL, and even by extension to PPRCSF. Yeah. Now the police yesterday, they don't release a statement. And in that statement, they make them categorically clear, then go reference 1965, the Public Order Act, Section 46, will give the police the mandate for maintain law and order in the country. But also, then forget, see, that same Public Order Act, 1965, now he also give all Sierra Leoneans, them, peaceful Sierra Leoneans, civilians, them, for also protest whenever they feel like, but also they for do them peacefully in the country. What do you feel say the SLPP don't do to the institution, the police institution, we for govern the people of Sierra Leone with specific reference to the opposition when at the APC, what to make them they always deprive we per we own right? What do you want to say about that?
Let us inside this quickly.
Please go ahead.
You know, you see, we get forget a society where people and they use their brains, use common sense. They cite 1965 Constitution. We are not bound by 65 Constitution. The ECSL waiting for the 1991 Constitution. If not the 1991 Constitution, now inform them, everything what we need for do in this election has to be from the same jurisdiction, the 1991 Constitution. We not go there now the country. We get one airport now. You get two airports now the same airport. They will get two constitutions at the country. When it suits them, they put 1965 Constitution. When it suits them, they put 1991 Constitution. But for God's sake, we get only one constitution at the country, the 1991 Constitution. And 1991 Constitution now give the right to the ECSL for make them run things for these elections.
Just remember, say that 1965, the Public Order Act. Go ahead.
You know, then give them full rules for color in 1991.
Yeah.
So you know, go there where it suits you, you go Old Testament. Where it suits you, you go New Testament. No.
Good.
Now we the people in Gabon say no to that nonsense they are, and then they do them so they go threaten, frustrate people and make people afraid. Where you know, you see them talk them, then say knowledge is power. Where you lack knowledge, me not a lawyer, but me to tell you with all clarity, say that quotation there is illegal.
Okay.
We get a constitution 1991 where give the Electoral Commission them power, not to 1965 give them power. That same 1991 constitution now give we power for protest.
Yeah.
Section 25. Now that same constitution there, now give we the right, section 13, give we the right for let we get the right for be citizens and stand up. So if then they come out, they can't talk say now because electoral commissions get a stipulated role where they for play. And one of the responsibilities where they get, they're not for be partisan, they're for be neutral, they're for be the referee. How you go watch football? Liverpool and Manchester they play. Then the referee boss for Kanka Ref, he wear Manchester United vest. How you feel to say Liverpool supporter then go feel? Then go become very uneasy.
Then
let's be straight about them things there.
Yeah.
So now we see clearly say the ECSL, then where SLPP polo. How they go expect we APC for trust what they do? Then the policeman is supposed for act in a way when they protect the public. APC are also part of the public. We already get a contravention what will happen here. Then pay somebody 10 million for do a job, they not do the job. Why police not go arrest them? Why police not pull a statement say they invite them for go to CID? I think that is the most significant thing what they for do. Because waiting not happen so, it is tantamount to public interest.
Yeah.
Now, serious public interest issue. So why police not invite the people that don't give this money and ask them question, what have they done with this and that and that and that? But rather, they pull a statement say, we God-given right, a right to protest. And it is so funny, even God will make we the very first thing where they teach picking when them born up for protest. As them born us so breeze blood, they cry. When picking cry, when a piece hook. That you the mama, you they can investigate for no why they cry. If not in a piece, so you change them. But ECSL not so better Kamara. They no one can change the picking happy, they want beat the picking back. And the picking will continue for cry. And that is not the problem who gets in Sierra Leone. This is not funny. If they get for kill we all, let us all die. But we not go sit down. People they take undue advantage against us. Now this
We'll
thing
get
the man
about
talk,
5-10 minutes. Now sorry about that, Comrade Imran. We'll get about 5-10 minutes to go for this program.
Okay.
And this I will go to Comrade Adams now. Congratulations in advance. Now a potential lawyer working for Kamara right now, and I go want for make you address this issue. Just like what Comrade Imran don't say. The police, then what exactly you feel say they want to do the APC. I want make you tell me exactly with regards to the letter what they released yesterday. Just like I don't quote for you what's in the Public Order Act 1965 say with regards to protest. And I know say that they try for restrict we for make not protest. Simply because APC want take to the street. All the supporters them, fellow Sierra Leoneans, sympathizers them, for go voice out we concerns them. What do you feel say the police exactly they can do for manipulate the APC as well as for adhere to waiting order from above they tell them? Please come on and explain to us.
Thank you, Mixer.
Welcome.
I think say with the regards to waiting you the try for say I don't see the press release, but one thing that I know what the law talks about, the law they tell you say any other law where they in contravention with that of the constitution they take precedence into that particular law. Sexual the freedom of whatever it is, how do you call it, Public Order Act of 1965 may have been written several years ago.
Exactly.
But the ground norm of the Republic of Sierra Leone is the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone. And what in that one they tell we? Under Chapter 3 of that particular constitution, you get what we call protected rights. And what in that mean? There's a tell you about entrenched clauses. And then entrenched clauses, then they get for do it. Then rights here where you talk about too. The right to freedom of assembly, freedom of conscience, out of whatever you choose for worship, you go to one for worship. These are protected rights. So under the law, section 26 of the Sierra Leone Constitution, it talk about what's in the requirement of what is needed for police. And not tell you say police need for give you permission. The law is very clear as to you they tell the police as to what you want to do and the kind guide what they need for you for protect you, for ensure say you do not become a nuisance to a person, or by way of me coming out with me people, man not disturb you Mixer here you right again, because I get for respect to your right. The police is there to ensure peaceful coexistence. They'll not tell you say for make you calm. It's there. It's a fundamental right. What's in section chapter 3 say? It says the recognition and protection of fundamental human rights and freedom of the individual. You understand? It's an entrenched clause. And then from there, you go to what my brother Imran made the time for talk about of section 26. What's in section 26 say? Protection of freedom of assembly and association. Except with his own consent, no person shall be hindered in the enjoyment of his freedom of assembly and association. That's to say, his right to assembly freely and associate with other person, and in particular to form or belong to any political party, trade union, or other economic or social and professional association, national or international, for the protection of his rights. So the law is very clear in that. So what you would try for say here to the police? In all of this is part of the heavy-handed tactics where the police they try for deploy. Again, when they talk of the grand scheme of things, by the time you get the police, you go get Office of National Security back, then self go begin the issue the young. In all of this, for steer fear, for create that kind of tension of the country, because somebody else is asking for something that is going to be disadvantageous to them if they were to go by the books. It does not cost you a thing for my asking, well, Mixer, well, this is not my own right. Do this thing no more. Now the right, now this the law say. You just do a no more. What would it cost you? But because you Mixer no say, if you do not right in there, you be disadvantageous, you not want for do them. So what you want for do? You want for use all of the state resources, whether within your power now for threatening me, for make I not get me own right as to what in the law say. But the requirement of the law is very clear. They can invoke section whichever of 1940s and 65 Public Order Act and anything. I will go by the 1991 Constitution any day and any time. But I say this again, it come back to we party. We got for take certain stance that are going to be very uncomfortable to certain people. We don't call for anything other than things within the law. We go to the court, we ask the court on prayers what we want them to do. The court grants with them, we not get a problem. We go back, we sit down, we wait for the action where the court will not request from ECSN. But in the event that every other person and institution has been compromised, we are left with no choice but to come out and make our demand known. We got to bring the international community to this. We bring all of the global media, where everybody can see. We're not asking for anything with
a critical question with regard to your presentation and Adam's submission. Suppose the police refuse the clearance.
Mixer, we do not need to request for a clearance from the police. We are only informing them. It is not a question
That's
of
it. Go ahead.
we say you understand?
Good.
Which is why we would follow all of the legal remedies. We don't go across. We don't ask everything. We don't approach ECSN. We don't tell them what's we concern, what we expect them to do to take remedial action. ECSFA, we've approached the court. If we don't get that from the court, we will be left with no result but the last resort to come out and make our demand
come out. That's it.
Plain and simple.
So far I'm concerned, up to this point, they don't write barrage of letters to ECSL. They don't reply.
Okay. They don't reply.
And it is deliberate.
Thank you.
Not for accidents, it is deliberate. This is a grand scheme. And now we get to take responsibility for we own well-being. We not going to expect SLPP for them or the police to them. We know for say the police na surrogate SLPP, ECSL na surrogate SLPP, the law courts na surrogate SLPP. But what we need for Dunaya, where Mr. Adams know very well, we get to follow the rules like a fine-tooth comb. Make sure say we do all them process there for record for today tomorrow. Because where then they take their actions there against we. 19 the man called Toheke. This is not advantage. This is not disrespect. But you know, when you put somebody, they reach a time where they cannot the wall. When he reach at the wall, he go react. And when he reacts, nobody no go talk for say we are unreasonable. Then go say, all right, what thing will be do before this year happen? Then say we don't ask for injunction. They not give it. Then say we don't write to ECSL. They not respond. So that's and we don't protect we backs.
Yes.
But at the same time, we leadership get for realize say they not put the name for the furniture.
Good.
Then get for take difficult actions. If there's you don't not do nothing, you not go get nothing. You not go be mechanic, you want for wear white. You not go be teacher, you don't want make chocolate you hand them. If you not a leader, it gets a time where you get for reach. If you get for gonna sell, you get for gonna sell. Steve Biko gonna sell, Mandela gonna sell, Malcolm X gonna sell, Martin Luther gonna sell, Indragali gonna sell. Now we know that we just want for enjoy the status, the money, and they don't want the responsibility. And if you now a politician, you enjoy privileges, you enjoy dollars, you travel. For sleep and sell not for be a problem.
That's correct. Thank you so much for this submission. We don't come to an end of this program, but today we panelists and really talk tough. And when I say tough, then deliver tough. I believe say the leadership of the party, they listen to them, they therefore take into consideration of all what they don't talk to, because they not talk in their own favor. Now policy statement. But the policy statement is up to the party to take it further. But I know say we panelists, they don't advise every listener and viewers as well as with leadership for making them do the right thing. And I believe say that they do the right thing, because now a political beast when I Imran and also a legal numinary in making when I Comrade Adams, that then prefer the solutions there for waiting the party get for do next. But again, I will go back to CDI to this. Dear listeners and viewers, take your phone, call people in Africa, tell them, say, make sure say they don't come out tomorrow for go join this float parade. It's very important. And the latest message we don't release today, we campaign the ECSL, they don't declare them open. APC they get to first campaign on Thursday, we get for go straight away na Kainlahu. That release day, they don't send on today, it in our social media, and we go for can talk about that day on Tuesday. So again, they give me viewers, me panelists 1 minute for making them get the last submission until we wait na the hope of the APC and the chances of Dr. Samura winning the June 24th, 2023 elections. I'll start with Imran. Over to you, Imran.
My brother, if you're not good and you're going to Kailaun, this is another issue of contention. We see what happened at Pujong, then 2-3 days here, where people and the gladdy for APC, then they support the dance around we leader Ifoto, then go to away acid from people them, then beat people them, then say anybody where they support APC for Go Makeni, and not for the na Pujong or the southern region. We not be realize say Sierra Leone don't become two in one state. Until we get 2 airports, now we don't get 2 constitutions. Now we get 2 countries, South and West. So what I'm saying here is, they get forget a clear disclaimer and clearance from them if we people are safe. Because with all them threats there, we don't happen. Now the reason they we make them for postpone these elections. You know they go by elections where then kind of issues they are, they're not clear. It's not clear. So waiting, it go turn like for people for go Kailang. Because I don't hear people in the talk for say if we go there and they kill we, I'm again no more for campaign. But we see SLPP that they campaign at Frito, then they campaign at Putloko, then they campaign at Lunge, but they don't put straight and with people them where some of them already they don't beat them. We sabi a woman where right now, it's not in the south anymore, it's in the west, because they don't beat them, they don't drive them out of town. They don't show the woman for say, then get new sheriff in town. And the new sheriff in town are SLPP. You know, for see no APC person in town. In that light, is it smart for let with people and go upline? If we go there, me not a lawyer. Law give everybody the right to self-defense. So me they tell with people and say let them put stick behind for the day when they neighbor go crazy. So in case they crazy, let with people them usai they self able. Okara dog belly dom bakar. Let them say best as thinking able.
Thank you so much, Comrade Imran Toure. That's a wonderful submission. Thank you so much. Bring in Comrade Adams. Adams, over to you.
Thank you, my brother Imran. Again, what me want to say here, Mixer, we should be seen to be campaigning every angle and every part of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone belongs to everybody when I Sierra Leonean. Period. So me want to say, outside and say will not get access, our mom will make good of it. Because sometimes again, it's a political statement. For all you know, there are people there who naturally they are empathetic, sympathetic to the APC party. They are APC supporters in silence. Yeah. Because they're in the minority. They don't want to come out. But they are APC supporters. So what do we do? But we move the entire machinery, post to post. We leader of the party now, Dr. Samura. Every other machine we want go on the inside and the more we go to the more we see bang for men attack from leadership take and say, yeah, don't section to SL people now, not for Canada. Where that happen, we want for a vote in the government of the SLP people say. If they do nothing, say nothing, hear nothing about it, we say for the tell we own people and say, we say we lock bad, we lock border on our own side. SLP people need the candy. If they want for more shape. Including Freetown. One no say we get Freetown. Why would the shape? But for all I know, Salon not be shape or not belong to anybody. It's for everybody. So this idea where people they say, oh no, they go under, not so strong. I do not believe in that mantra. We don't go all cyber. Salon not belong to anybody. More we go campaign. The people and they will believe in the APC party. Just like what people like Jagaban and others they say. It's a false information that is being propagated. And if we allow that to go, the Southeasterners that will believe in the APC, they're going to believe, say, but other people do not like Wiba. Nobody know they can and nobody never can for council to it. So let us go there. Let the leadership of the party go there. When we say go there, we go put we your strong people in the party that decided it. Men them basically. And I remember when Dr. Samura visited the UK, part of the entourage with Dr. Richard Conte, Paulo, Petito, and others, and then we say, what them go to go station permanently at Southeast. We want to see them doing that. We want for you say them did it. By the special grace of God, where some of us self go, they go join the Nana side, bruh.
Good.
Bruh, we're all afraid, bruh. When I Salomon there, I see the work from start to finish before the car aboard. So nobody knows anything.
No, Adams, you talk like Chief Pekin today. You talk with one voice.
So we all go there. We all go there. The more we campaign, we have a message to give to the people of Sierra Leone. Now that message is Dr. Samura the goat. Dr. Samura never go tell you say, oh, no, do this, no. He has a message. Now that message he want to deliver to the people of Sierra Leone. We're gonna make them change their mind for vote for him. He's not a violent person. He does not preach violence. In all of the side of the world on Siam, his message is one of peace and of unity. So he has a message. There is an economic message for the people. There is a social message for the people where Dr. Samura gets. Now that message day. Hey, but mix and I'm go tell you say go take weapon, go army company, then the next day not get tea for each your family. No madness. I go tell you what they can do for you. Where we go make you as a responsible father. You go able to put food on the table for your family. That's the message where Dr. Samura gets. It's not all about winning the next election. It's about changing the narrative and saving the lives of the Sierra Leoneans. We have a message. May the entire leadership gather, more we go begin propagate this message in the Southeast. If then they cannot wield stronghold, then they can't propagate their own message. And we are allowing them that freedom of assembly and of conscience and to choose your political party as required for in the Constitution. But more self go there now. May them go tell we say, no, we are not protected. May the police or the army do not go protect we while we are campaigning.
My brother, from the time when they beat that woman from move and come out from a town, I know already police make any statement. Nor did the government. And this for me, I get a belief for be hard, but for do them cautiously. Because if we get a system, about today tomorrow, they say would have put pieces in water, not get him. You when they go pull pieces and say dirty water. So when you go reach the time for dirty water, nobody not go tell me say I'm my fault. And I go
we get some right from the entire leadership of we party, from the leader of we party now. Let him move his entire entourage for go campaign. Now the Southeast suicide they will not get strong goal. I believe say people and they what them believe in. They are just waiting to receive him. So more we go there, more we not frustrate some people and the more we go there. For all you know, then they talk this kind of thing just for no more, for stir up hatred, for set way up and the people who they don't believe in the APC party. So let the entire leadership move. We have an economic message for them. We have a social message for them. More go deliver that message.
Hey, brother, then people are not Christmas and was waiting to do na 38 recently where Samura come out Lunge. Then get them dry eye like which man them.
So what's happened? When Samura the team resist, what's happened? No move, no go, no boundary. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. When Samura say, you know what? Me the commander, me the leads now.
I agree with that. We get for assert we say.
Thank you.
We get for assert we say. And that will not see some of the leaders and they do.
Nobody's going to give it to us on a
so the show don't come to an end. I just want to express sincere thanks and appreciation to we guests them. But before I do that, I just want to make a few announcements them. And for make people know what's in the happen right now. Well, we wait for a clearance and authority from the APC UK and I leadership. We just don't get an information say Jagaban is coming back to the UK, just like what Dr. Samura been do 3 weeks ago. In one for can tell people in Tenki na UK. It land na ya I know we will tell you now when it land, but it can at the UK and they get two activities them. One get for take place in a Methodist Church and one get for take place in a Crawford Hall. But again, by tomorrow, the media will be able to release that statement. Once we don't get a clearance from the leadership of the branch. That's now one news. The second news is I just want to tell listeners and viewers and say the ECSL don't release the dates them for the campaign. Now the campaign they don't declare open. So now that they can't know what APC stand for. And see them, they go and campaign, they don't thief money, they don't go do what they do, they say they get money for ship, but then go ahead and do that. But we try for tell them, say the people are fed up because this particular 2023, June 24th election is about nationalism. because everybody, they think Sierra Leone, not even APC or other SLPP, but they don't fed up with them. And this is why we Adams and Comrade Imran, they all to the Toxi, will go for go now the southeast for go make them uncomfortable, because you get people under who ready for support the APC. Well, then therefore APC, they are APCN, but because they need the minority, then just relax. But as soon as we penetrate the SLPP, therefore be uncomfortable. So again, I just want to tell when I say they don't declare the campaign open. Also, Syria, Tunis don't release an audio today will come out from the leadership and the secretariat say all APCians, comrades of the APC will reside in Sierra Leone right now, not for come out tomorrow for go join the ECSL and float parade, because all na gimmicks. So they don't want to let anybody take part. But however, would they urge every APCian would not register for make them go collect the ID card one day, especially the one who they don't collect the ID card. Una make sure if not get una ID card, una return una slip them, because this is our defense. Una make sure if una collect una ID card, una also keep them. And again, I will go now for can conclude on all what we don't discuss today. A very, very, oh my God, this I know when they see people and can't talk so tough to the party leadership for make them listen and make them able to understand exactly which are the young man here they come up from, especially both comrades, the winner Adams and Imran. Then talk very tough, because the reason why I make them talk very tough, because they all want a winning for the APC political party, especially for Dr. Samura. We get all the ideas for bring Sierra Leone to a peace. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, comrades, we don't talk about Dr. Samura in visitation na England, with specific reference to the UK and I. Comrade Adams to analyze A to Z, step by step, from the airport, come to the mosque, from the mosque, BBC interview, come on BBC interview, it go back, can get a public engagement with the business partners in the southeast of England. One with senior comrade don't take this country from where SLPP take over power. They don't threaten them. The man won't go about in business. He just don't left. He can't sit down there. When a comrade captain, Ali Patso, Dr. Samura ensures where he come inside England, he go visit him aboard. And a comrade will go for counter this platform now, because if APC get for stand in the Western area, now some of these guys, he's here, but he do in work, doing that very accurately. So we praise Dr. Samura for that, because he extend the olive oil to every comrade where they under threat, where they in the UK. Pass what I don't know, say idea. The likes of Khalifa, it meets to all. As a matter of fact, Khalifa was with the squad na Peckham. Now, some of we all be to go shop to shop for go and educate and tell people about Dr. Samura in plans for Sierra Leone, with specific reference to people that would live in the diaspora, because they believe on us. So therefore, what he do na Peckham, nobody not do, and just like what Adams tell we today, we myself not be know about, we listeners and viewers not be know about. See, Dr. Samura was the first somebody will come out Africa, particularly Sierra Leone, when a future president for attend the House of Commons, the Well of Parliament during the debate. Kudos to that. Kudos to Adams then, who facilitates all the movement today. So we don't talk about all that one day. He also don't tell we about Dr. Samura in attendance na a church. That means they are religious tolerant. You go Friday na mosque, Sunday you go na church. What did they tell you? It's just down to earth. This they tell you, see, Sierra Leone, they're ready for welcome a leader where they down to earth. A leader will not believe for divide the country. A leader will not believe polarize the country. That a leader will believe in everybody, a teamwork, and they get sober plan for the diaspora. So dear, make nobody not feel say you are left out. Dr. Samura they come for amend all the issues of the diaspora as well as fellow comrades na Sierra Leone. So again, we don't talk about the ECSL. Then two comrades here, so don't talk very tough. They not tell we say, no, we not go ahead with the election, so, but they don't provide solution for the party. We still get for go ahead with the election if we want to go ahead, but again, that injunction, they letter them for take the ECSL to court. They need for do all that they need so that we get evidence. If the election not going for go away, so straight away we know something what they refer to as evidence-based, because any tool they deal with in this world is about evidence-based. That is proof. But the party need for take their action today before ever will they succeed. If the party not take their actions today, then we'll get yourself for blame. We got for make sure see we get all the documentation together. But also Adam self don't confirm to we say he don't read, he don't quote part of the 1991 constitution. We'll tell we say we not need any police clearance if we want to take to the street for protest peacefully against the ECSL with regards to them election malpractices, what they expect for CAM. So therefore, if the APCCC did not answer to we questions them, from now to Friday, they can tell we any date we'll go for Comonado, we'll protest peacefully. May them go kill we now. If they want for kill we, let the international community get involved. But again, I go want for say a special thanks again to me panelists them. We're very tough. Imran, you just don't educate, you get proverb them. Everybody they enjoy you, and thank you so much for telling about the two constitution with regard to the Public Act or Public Order Act and the Constitution. We say we get two Lunge airports them. Thank you so much for that again. But again, finally, I go back to Usami Komot when I'm in hometown, Gambia. I begin again, Pastor So, and then I end up at Timini Small. Yendi, Ntan wo biri maharifene, wontan na hambara Gambia. Mkhiyo na hambara register, alukwa ho vote, yi election na hamfa feki. Wusga, wusa wuka carte d'identité tongo. Alabe, wona tongo, waragatade, wona harabe, waragata, fine da. Parce que na carte d'identité, nana no maniede, aloko APC, kono gagne de, kono win de. Ani ko wama ko maloko APC ka fa, aloko womanga sigisa APC be, yendi, wusga wusa carte d'identité tongo, womanga siga wafalo ka baribori be, de ke doki, wona ka yendi, anu alabe afera. Wota na NGC, womanga fa, so na wona, waka vote APC be. APC na wota mo political party ra, wota na kolong, womo bokima, yendi, ntana na kari na safi, ntana na wakadi, asan kebe, en hangal me akosi, mixa. So, dia, many people that were they Cambia, menen owan konu, asan kebe, woman tila kebe footballer, do Cambia. Minam de nem tenenu, yanu, takuruda nebeng. Yeman, a chuchu, a teman yoy, pepe tagbasi ID cardionui, kanonu kamanu basi ID cardionu, kamane benne yi, mamu, chenidi mi, because people niyema kama Dr. Samura win an election kama APC siba MP do Cambia district mamuto wurnudo kam kama no basi ID kaidenu then kama no so vote ta APC angang mine ngame tolana nu ngame namtena nu marinu chasuyinu kanto fangi antri pangi sa sport amro odo de bati do Cambia unoni odo ridi amfuma ambadere ademan ko waido marketi takadi anlopi abakimolo apply bakimolo so marinu enem telenu wurundo kan kamano ko basi ID kadonu kamano vote ta Dr. Samura the APC. So to be fellow Sierra Leoneans and comrades of the APC, listeners and viewers, sympathizers of the APC, again I emphasize na ya say would not collecting voter ID card yet. Do you wanna go out there and collect the voter ID card? Wanna make sure say wanna retain them because this na in our evidence for vote. And again tomorrow the ECSL they get them floating parade. Don't go out and support them. Just go out for collective voter ID card and then go about your business. APC they count a further statement. Over to you, Comrade Imran. Thank you so much for your educative analysis there. We really appreciate you, Comrade Adams. We appreciate you, the technical team, more to also be coordinator of the APC Diaspora Online TV. Owen Kosude Fritter right now, and they can help the party for conduct all the election process here. We contain the party and the campaign, and is right now a member of the combo campaign team. So Comrade Owen Kosu, now the coordinator of the APC UK and I media team, and also the PRO of the APC UK and I district. You know they are right now, but again, I say kudos to you, Owen Kosu, what you don't do over the years, and focus on what you depend for the party. Would they maintain the platform for you and the diaspora as well as the APC globally. So Imran, we will wish for welcome you back and for host you back anytime from now on, because as from Tuesday, we get every day, as long as the campaign don't begin, so we get everyday sessions. So therefore they bring one account, they get everyday sessions about sensitization. Every day until the election day, we get sessions at the APC platform. So again, Jagaban they come, Imran, I believe said they will extend an invitation to you. If they haven't, the APC media team, because we got some people who go for travel, the Young Congress, they get program in Belgium on the 27th. We also get another program on Friday, the 26th at Manchester. Manchester, they get a James night, and a lot of people they go for Kamara and London. We'll go for go support them. But Imran, we might contact you, perhaps we might go on behalf, if some people in travel go Manchester or Belgium, we might go and interview Jagaban. Keep an eye for the invitation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, my brother.
God bless you.
Bye now. All right.
Number 7, Bugatti Bebo. Only